You'd be hard-pressed to find a character whose rise to popularity was more unlikely than Ahsoka Tano's. When she was first introduced back in 2008, in the less-than-stellar Clone Wars movie, she was immediately panned by fans.
She's so immature and annoying.
Her dialogue is too cringy.
Anakin shouldn't have a Padawan, it isn't right.
These were common things to hear fans say about Ahsoka in those days. Fast forward to today, and Ahsoka has become one of the most popular Star Wars characters. Just how did this incredible 180 happen? Well, it took time and lots of good stories. This is the history of Ahsoka Tano. Ahsoka Tano was born on the planet of Shili, 36 years before the Battle of Yavin. As a toddler, she displayed Force sensitivity and was taken to the Jedi Order by Jedi Master Plo Koon. She would spend her formative years like any Jedi youngling would, learning the basics of the Force and lightsaber combat alongside her peers at the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. When Ahsoka was 14 years old, the galaxy was shaken to its core as a massive war broke out between the Republic and the newly formed Separatists. A few months into the war, Ahsoka was finally assigned a master. She traveled to Christophsis, where she surprised Anakin Skywalker by informing him that she was to be his new Padawan. At first, the pair had a somewhat contentious relationship. Skywalker never had any desire to have a Padawan learner, saying that he believed a Padawan would only slow him down, and he wasn't shy in letting Ahsoka know that either. It wouldn't be long that Ahsoka would earn his respect and the two would begin to forge a tight bond. Ahsoka would also become close to CT-7567, also known as Captain Rex, starting a friendly rivalry with the clone. The trio, along with Obi-Wan Kenobi, would go on countless missions together and fight in numerous battles throughout the Clone Wars. Ahsoka would face tests that no Padawan should need to face, as she would face off against the Sith assassin Asajj Ventress and the cyborg General Grievous on several occasions. Tano also made other friends during the war. Senator Padme Amidala became something of a big sister to her, teaching her about the state of galactic affairs and of diplomacy. During the Second Battle of Geonosis, Ahsoka became friends with fellow Padawan Barriss Offee, who was apprenticed to Jedi Master Luminara Unduli. After winning this battle, Ahsoka and Barriss were sent to deliver relief supplies to Mace Windu on the planet of Dantooine. However, Geonosian brainworms began to infect the crew of the ship, including Barriss. Ahsoka managed to save Barriss and the crew by rupturing the cooling system, reducing the interior of the ship to freezing temperatures, which killed the horrific worms. Sometime later in the war, Ahsoka traveled with Skywalker and Kenobi to the mysterious planet of Mortis. Here they encountered the Father, the Daughter, and the Son. These beings represented the balance, the light, and the dark of the Force, respectively. Ahsoka was kidnapped by the Son, who wished to lure Anakin to the dark side. When Anakin, Obi-Wan, and the Daughter arrived with the Dagger of Mortis to rescue Ahsoka, they found that she had been infected with the dark side. She attacked Anakin and Obi-Wan while the Daughter battled the Son. Ahsoka was able to take the dagger away from the Jedi and gave it to the Son, who planned to use it to kill his own father. He then killed Ahsoka before attempting to kill his father with the dagger. However, his sister stepped right in front of the blade, saving her father. In her dying moments, she told Anakin to transfer what life she had left to Ahsoka. Ahsoka was revived, and from this point on, the aspect of the Daughter would always linger near Ahsoka, often taking the form of an owl-like creature called Morai. Towards the end of the war, Ahsoka was accused of bombing the Jedi Temple through a series of misunderstandings. Her attempt to prove her own innocence failed, and she was captured by Republic forces. The Jedi Council voted to expel Ahsoka from the Jedi Order, which left her open to be tried by the Republic as requested by Admiral Wilhuff Tarkin. It was in the middle of her trial when Anakin Skywalker came forward with the true perpetrator, Barriss Offee. Offee had deliberately set Ahsoka up, framing her for the bombing at the temple. This betrayal stunned Ahsoka, as she had thought Barriss was her friend. Ahsoka was welcomed back into the Jedi Order by the Council, who told her that she would be raised to the rank of Jedi Knight. However, Ahsoka had no intention of returning to the Order. She was hurt by both Barriss's betrayal and by the lack of faith the Council had shown in her. She chose instead to take her own path, leaving a heartbroken Anakin Skywalker without a Padawan once more. After aiding a pair of sisters in a series of events that we really don't need to get into, Ahsoka caught the eye of one Mandalorian loyalist. Bo-Katan Kryze approached Ahsoka, having met her on Karlak earlier in the war. Ahsoka was initially wary of Bo-Katan as they were enemies when they'd last met, but Bo-Katan convinced Ahsoka to help her retake Mandalore from Maul. Ahsoka and Bo-Katan met with Kenobi and Skywalker, requesting Republic aid in retaking Mandalore. With the help of Anakin, they got it. Anakin divided the 501st and assigned a portion of it, led by the now Commander Rex, to besiege Mandalore. Anakin gifted Ahsoka's old lightsabers back to her, though he did replace the crystals to make them blue rather than green. The two said goodbye, hoping to meet up again after Ahsoka's mission. Unfortunately, it would be over 15 years before they would see each other again. With the combined strength of the Republic and the Mandalorian loyalists, Maul's forces were pushed back, gradually losing control of the planet as the siege pressed on. Ahsoka dueled Maul in the throne room before chasing him up onto the rafters, high above the city. She impressively managed to apprehend him after a fierce battle. After leaving Mandalore in the hands of Bo-Katan, Ahsoka and her forces set off for Coruscant. In the middle of their journey, the hammer fell and Order 66 was initiated. Ahsoka barely managed to escape the ordeal, removing Rex's inhibitor chip in the process and enlisting his help. After escaping the crashed cruiser and burying the fallen clones, Ahsoka and Rex parted ways, both going into hiding from the Empire. In the immediate years that followed, Ahsoka had a run-in with an Inquisitor, the sixth brother. She managed to defeat the Inquisitor without even possessing a lightsaber. This would change, however, as she took the kyber crystals from his lightsaber that he no longer needed and purified them through the Force. This action purged the red corruption and turned them into a brilliant white. Through various good deeds, Ahsoka caught the eye of Senator Bail Organa, who had quietly begun to organize a rebellion against the Empire. At his request to join, she agreed and began operating under the code name Fulcrum. Ahsoka spent much of the next 10 years or so quietly working for the fledgling rebellion, advising cells and giving them direction. Eventually, she took a more public role, personally assisting the crew of the Ghost on various missions. It was on one such mission that she and Darth Vader sensed one another's presence. The shock of this revelation rendered Ahsoka unconscious, as she had just sensed someone she hadn't sensed in 15 years, her former master. Ahsoka sent the crew of the Ghost to find Captain Rex and enlist him in the rebellion. When they returned with the old clone, she was finally reunited with her dear old friend after almost 15 years.
Find Malachor.
You one ugly mother...
After learning from Yoda that they should travel to Malachor, Ahsoka joined Kanan and Ezra on their journey to the mysteriously dark planet. Here they would find an ancient superweapon along with 3 Inquisitors, as well as Maul. Maul, Ahsoka, Kanan, and Ezra worked together to best the Inquisitors, but Maul soon betrayed the group, blinding Kanan and attempting to kill Ahsoka. He failed and was driven off the edge of the temple by Kanan. Vader arrived and was about to kill Ezra when Ahsoka intervened, finally facing her old, fallen master at last. The two fought, with Vader quickly gaining the upper hand and pushing Ahsoka off the temple's edge. Ahsoka was not finished, though. She landed a surprise attack on Vader, cracking his mask and revealing a portion of his face, the face of Anakin. But he was not Anakin. Not really. He moved to strike Ahsoka down as if she meant nothing to him, but Ahsoka held him off while Ezra and Kanan made their escape. She was presumed dead by the rebels, killed by the Dark Lord of the Sith. But she was not dead. During his experience in the World Within Worlds, Ezra was able to pull Ahsoka through a portal and into the strange pocket in time and space, effectively saving her from being killed by Vader. Not much is known about what Ahsoka did during the Galactic Civil War, but she resurfaced afterwards to fetch Sabine Wren so that they could go looking for the now missing Ezra Bridger. And that is the history of Ahsoka Tano all the way up to when we saw her in Chapter 13 of The Mandalorian just last week. She truly is a remarkable character and honestly one of my personal favorites. I'd probably place her as my 2nd or 3rd favorite character. But where does she rank for you? Let me know down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, folks. Please remember to like and subscribe. It helps the channel out so much, and it also makes our day. Anyway, I'm Zach, and I'll see you in the future.